Hello and welcome. My name is Ajaxpost and we're back here with Computer Tycoon. Yes! A moment I've been waiting for quite some time. Since roughly around January, I think, somewhere around the beginning of the year, we had the last update to this early access game. And at that point, the save game format was changed, which unfortunately meant that the series I'd been running for some months prior to that, well, I had to abandon it basically, which was kind of sad because I was really enjoying the game and I was being reasonably successful, which is always a good sign. Now, I've kept sort of playing the game every now and then since then, but we have been waiting for a major rewrite from the developer, Andres, who goes under the corporate name, if you will, of Progorian, or is it Prog Orion? Not entirely sure. Anyway, that doesn't matter. He has come through and he has effectively rewritten the entire core code of the game and given us a whole new experience. The idea of the game is very much the same. It's a big computer industry tycoon game with a touch of the grand strategy built into it as well. So there's lots of complexity, lots of decisions, lots of competition to deal with in the game. Now, this new update, which, as I say, we've been waiting for a while, is the first step on the roadmap, as it were, to completing this huge project that Andres has in his mind in the full game. But now we've got this rewrite out of the way. He's saying that updates now should come through much more quickly. He's got a much simpler task, an easier task of dealing with adding features to the game that we've all wanted, that he's wanted to add. So we're looking forward now to progression. And so here we are, right at the front screen of the game. Changed a little bit, I think. Yeah, subtle. Well, maybe not so subtle. I don't know. It's been quite a while since I last played this, to be honest. Settings, there aren't many to choose from at the moment. We have a new kind of tutorial system, which you can't turn off. It is easy to get to and easy to dismiss, and it doesn't take up much time or space, so that's not a big issue as such. Music volume, I've got that really low because the music, pleasant enough as it is, it can get very loud, especially when I'm recording a voiceover, so I've had to take that down. And we've still got some lovely voice acting and some cute sound effects, and why not? You can control how sensitive your mouse is. I think, yeah, recommended is 23. It's a little bit quick for me. I'm getting old. I need things to be a bit slower, so I moved it down a little bit. And you can choose your mouse if you wanted a different mouse, I suppose. Yeah. We'll leave everything else as is. And we'll start ourselves a new game. Ooh, this is much nicer and sweeter. Yes, this is a much better looking, more attractive front screen for the game. This is kind of me. Kind of a Steve Jobs kind of feel, I think. Obviously a young Steve Jobs. We are starting the game in 1974, thereabouts. So yeah, he probably looked a bit like that back then, maybe. I've no idea who these guys are. They may well be representations of other significant figures in the computer industry back in the early days. Now I need to give myself a name. I'm going to use my usual sort of pseudonym for my channel. Name of my company. What shall I call myself? Okay, Ajax Futures. Assuming I've got a future. Okay, now we can have bonuses. We can have some sort of additional sort of leg up, as it were, over the opposition. I don't think it lasts long because this new version of the game, this new build, is even more challenging than it was before. So any help is much appreciated. Production and logistics, they're probably really good at the start of the game because they do cost a fair amount of money. But I like research. I've always liked research. Should I do that? Or should I take 10% production? I'm going to be different. I'm going to take 10% production this time round. See what difference that makes. Colour, I don't want to be blue. I will go green. Okay. and I will play on. Now, because I've spent a couple of hours in the game already, and I have discovered it is even more challenging than it was before. I had a kind of method to winning, well, at least doing quite well in the game previously, before this new build, but I've discovered this new one is a lot more difficult and a lot more challenging. So as much as I normally like to start at the sort of normal, the average, not expert kind of player level, I'm going to wimp out. I'm going to go for beginner this time round, and hopefully have some success for at least a couple of years, if I can last that long in the game. Okay, you've got victory goals to choose from here. These are, you win if you are the only player left in the game, the only competitor. If you achieve singularity, which basically means researching all the technology there is to have in the research tree. That's a fun new feature, we will see that. Hopefully in this episode we'll see how far we get. And survival. Can you survive till 2034? That's a very long way away. So that's 60 odd years away. I'd be quite... I don't think the avatars age. That might be a cool feature, wouldn't it? So if they got as old as you do as the years pass. Random events and random world we can't change. As we said at the beginning of the first series of this game, the plan is to actually represent the real world as it develops in computer technology and politics and economics over the years from 1974. So for example, you would have one big block developing computers in the West, the capitalist block if you will, sort of led by America, and you would have the, as it were, the communist bloc sort of led by Russia, the Soviet Union at the time. And they would obviously develop quite different technologies, and you would not be able to sell into each other's market. The Soviets would certainly not allow American computers into their country, and vice versa. But that does perhaps make the espionage feature of the game even more interesting. I wonder if that will be built into the politics, but that's not ready yet. So we are working with a random world. It's based on the country, on the world map, more or less as it stands today, but all the economies, populations and so on are randomized. And again, trying to be historical, we'll have random events in the future of the game, as it says they're not implemented yet, like economic crashes, buildings burning, earthquakes, who knows what could possibly turn up in the game. Okay, now who am I going to be? My avatar. Are there any attractive characters in here? And no. It's the short answer, isn't it? He has a hairstyle I had once. I don't grow beards very often. No, I'm not a lady person, so I can't be her. Well, I could, I mean, but I'm not. I think he looks the sharpest, the smartest. Yeah, definitely. We will choose this chappie here. He'll be my avatar, so you can't play, I'm afraid. So I'm going to take you out of the game. And I'm going to limit myself to 6 competitors. I'm not quite sure if that's a good or a bad thing, but that's what we're going to do. So, who are we going to take out? I don't like the look of you. No. We'll change you to a woman, to a lady. And you look a bit like that chap from, one of the chaps from ABBA, don't you? So we'll keep you in. I don't like either of these two characters. We'll lose you. There you go. So 2 bearded men. That's fine. And Francesco, I think, is a male name. But if I change that to Francesca, does that make her female? Well, let's pretend that it does. Okay, so there we are. That's my new game. Let's go. And we start with a... This scared me the first time I saw it. What the heck is this? Blue screen of death? But it's not. It's a representation of the good old-fashioned Commodore 64 starting screen. And, of course, the tape drive loading all the goodies into the memory of the machine. And this awful noise, which unfortunately you can't turn off. So if you're playing this on loud volume with headphones, be prepared to have, well, an unpleasant couple of moments. And there's some tips here which they sort of randomise. There's a whole variety of these which come up. So it's offering you some useful advice for when you're starting the game, about keeping costs down and making use of any local bonuses in terms of costs, which we will see. This is cute. Not enter, not space. Yes, it does mean press F1 to start. Let's go. Okay, so if you remember the previous version of the game, there was a series of these screens in the centre of the display, which gave you a lot of text and a lot of really good and useful information about to carry on with the game. That doesn't happen anymore. You get this lovely little pop-up sort of helps tip screen, which prompts you through the sort of initial setup of the game. So the first thing we need to do is we must find ourselves our first territory into which we will market our computers, and also where we will build them. And the thing here is that if you build a factory, you want to look for a country with a poverty wealth rating, because poorer people apparently don't want as much in wages, which makes manufacturing cheaper. It's a bit of a political statement, but that's where you are. So we will use this again. This is something the help screen doesn't explain or highlight. Is you can use the overlays here to look at the wealth of the different countries. So the really dark orangey browns are filthy rich. The white ones are poor or poverty stricken in terms of wealth. So we're looking for a poverty country. I can use my mouse wheel to zoom in and out, and I can left drag to move around the map. Yeah, this is the mouse sensitivity, I think. As I saw, it was going a bit too fast, so I had to bring that down a little bit. So we're not going to go to the United Kingdom because that is filthy rich. Not really, and I can't imagine what it's going to be like in a year's time if we actually leave the EU. Yeah, we could be poverty stricken. Yeah, but let's not get into that. Okay, so this is a good choice. I like starting actually either in Africa or South America, but that's too expensive. We've got 30 grand to spend, but as it suggests, find somewhere between $3 and $6 million, which means you can expand into a second territory, which we'll want to do to sell our computers, and leave you some money for development. So we could. Ghana's quite nice. Nearly 2 million people for 2.5 million in computer technology dollars. Is there anywhere else that kind of fits in? Poverty. Actually, you're 116. You're quite good actually, and cheaper. What have we got here? No. Is there anywhere in Europe? Oh, Germany. Oh, that would be cool, wouldn't it? That's a huge market. And the interesting thing here is there's quite an interesting mix of preferences for the customers in this country. So if I click that, it sort of tells you what the colours mean. Unfortunately, it does cover them up, so you can't see them. So it's mostly red and that sort of yellowy colour, and the purple, which is features, quality, and capacity. Well, I think that capacity, is a new attribute. Okay, we'll have to look out for that. I'm tempted to go Germany. France is far too expensive. About Ireland. You're quite average. Okay, it's a bit more expensive than perhaps I would like, but that is a huge population, so if I can get that, let's do it. Okay, so we're buying Germany. Oh, another cute little change to the game. We've got our little flags up here in our nice sexy new prompt. Do you want to buy it? Yes, you do. Okay, and as it says, we need to it does say that labour is cheaper, spelling labour the American way of course, and we need to establish a building site in Germany. So if we go to Germany and we want to set a building site up, yes, that's another 1 million. Okay, We'll get rid of... Actually, no, we'll leave that there for the moment. And this is a much smoother, neater, but a little bit more obscure in terms of what these buttons mean. If you hover over them, it does tell you. So that's a factory, which is the first thing we need to build, where we actually manufacture our computers, our components, and so on. And the cost of that is going to be 100,000. Now the daily cost would be normally 37,500 a day, but because we're in a poor country, we get a wealth discount because of 50%, so it will be a good deal cheaper than that. What's that, around 18.5, 19 grand a day? It's not cheap, but it's a good deal cheaper than it could be. And because I have chosen the production bonus, I get an additional discount of 60%. That's very handy, isn't it? So yeah, let's do that. If I was playing in a rich country, I would actually have additional costs because wages are higher in richer countries, typically speaking, of course. Okay, so we're building that. We're not unpaused yet. Yeah, we've done that. And now we need to go to the computer menu, which is this computer icon down here, and design our computer. So we'll click it, new. A home computer is the only thing we can build at the moment. This evolves over time into personal computers, desktops, tablets, laptops, whatever, other things, which I can't exactly remember. I think the next one in line is the PC, the personal computer. Okay, click on the name. What should we name these? We'll call them Ajax. I've just noticed something. Ajax Futures. I used the naming system I used in my previous series of the year, 1974. This is computer number 1. Just noticed a little bug. You remember at the start of the game I picked the dark chap, the coloured chap, the black chap as my avatar. I'm still Steve Jobs. Not good. And I can't change it. Oh, okay, right, we'll have to report that. Remember, of course, this is still very early access. Even though it has been in early access for a couple of years now, this is the first build with this new core game code. So it's a complete rewrite, so there are still going to be a number of bugs and issues with it, and we're going to sort those out as we go through the upcoming months of development. Okay, so it says here I need to name the computer. I've done that, and click on the missing CPU. We don't have any CPU hardware available to us yet, so we need to design that. We're going to use a 4040 with DIP memory. Again, the nice thing I love about this game is all the technology. There is description for all of this, so you really do get an insight into the hardware and the development of the IT tech. I can't say IT technology, can I? Because that's a repetition of the word technology. Yeah, computer technology, that'll do. So we'll put DIP and heatsink. Now if we take the heatsink off, this here, what's that? That's the quality, isn't it? So heatsink makes the quality go up quite a lot, but it does add to our production cost, our production power, which is what PP stands for, which is basically how much manufacturing time or effort is required to produce this. And all this adds up when you put all the bits together into a bit of tin and call it a computer. Okay, so we'll add the heatsink in anyway. The upfront cost is that, and we need to configure features of the CPU. So should we make it, we'll go quality, I think, because Germany, if you remember, yeah, did have quality as a key requirement, so we're going to make this a quality machine. Cache, no, we can't change these things. Maybe that'll come out in later models with more research. We'll go through these symbols here later. So home computer, oh, we need to give it a name. So this will be AF 4040 1. The first one, in case, I don't know, there might be a second version of this, who knows. So let's create that. We can either double click it to add to the computer design, or we can do that directly here as the help tip suggests. Yeah, do that. We've done that. We've done that. Now, this is one thing to note in the tutorial sort of tips guide thing here. is it mentions explicitly all the red bounded options. That's not all. You can add, and you should add, some of the other options, and we'll do that in a moment as we go through. Otherwise you'll lose out in terms of the capabilities and features of your new computer. So, but we're going to finish the tutorial tips there. They're more or less finished, but yeah, we don't need them. Memory. We need to add this. So we're now going through and just adding in all the extra bits of technology that we want to build our hardware. Memory. Yeah, we'll make it fast. Loads of capacity of memory. 2K of memory. Wow. And this is going to be memdip. I can't claim to ever being good at naming things. Removable media. Do we have any for that? Nope. So we'll go back. GPU. We haven't researched GPU technology, graphics, so there's nothing there. We could do. Actually, we could do this. I notice here that these symbols are now showing levels for temperature and for noise, and that actually also affects how popular your computer is going to be, because some people are more worried about how hot it gets, others are about how noisy it is. So that all builds into the sort of the quality of the machine. So I don't think I can select anything here. Now I'm thinking this might be a little 0.13 kilobyte memory on your GPU. So this is going to be GPU 1. Can I create that? Nope. Okay, so it's offering me something which I can't actually use. Just a little bugget we've discovered in the game. Okay, that's fine. Oh, I've lost the computer. Have I lost it entirely? Oh, I have. Oh, bother. Right. Okay, we'll just add these bits into the computer. Ah, I'm clicking in the wrong place. Click there. That's it. Not on the left-hand column, but any other column, and we'll add it in. Okay. Power supply. We definitely can build one of those. It's one of these. The heatsink doesn't do much apart from making more expensive. I'm going to leave it off. We're going to go full quality. Power 1. As good a name as any, surely. I'll add that to the computer. Motherboard. We'll need one of those. DIN. Again, we're going to go right up as best we can. And this is AF Mobo 1. Should I put a dash and something in there? Just sort of, yeah, that looks okay. Well, kind of. Storage. Do we have any storage? Oh, we do. We have Winchester technology. Good. Right. So quality, performance, capacity. Oh, 30 kilobytes. Whoa. Excellent. How much you can store in there? Disk. Wink for Winchester. That will do. We'll add that to the computer. Display. We'll create. Yes, we have indicator lights. What more could you want on your computer? Disp lights. Okay, and finally, operating system. Do we have an operating system? Yes, we do. Okay, so we'll call this Ajax Futures OS1. Except I can't typo. There you go. AFOS. And that's our computer. Excellent. We have no accessories to add at the moment. That's okay. So I'm looking. Yeah, I think we've got everything filled in there. Oh, it hasn't got a name yet. So this is going to be AF741. That needs to be uppercase, of course. That's better. Okay, let's save that design. Let's prototype it.
Your new computer model went into the testing phase.
Splendid. Right, let's turn on the clock. Let's get the game running. So I'm losing money every year in Germany. Why is it not clicking? Click on it. There you go. Information about Germany. Ooh, okay. This is one of the exciting new features. You now have much more information about your customers and the opposition. So who you're selling to in each country matters, with different types of users within each country, and there is a general wealth of the country as well. So it's kind of mixing and matching who the people are. So we've got cheapskates, bargain hunters, we've got working people,
your building upgrade has
gamers,
completed.
and casuals. And you can also in this game sell individual bits of hardware. So if we build or design the best CPU in the world, we could license it out to our competitors and make money that way. I think that's how it works. Okay, our factory is built. Let's go in there. So there it is, and it's costing me an awful lot of money at the moment, even though I don't have a computer to sell. So I'm going to take the budget right down to 0. Okay, so the cost should be less. A little bit less. Until I have a computer.
Your new computer model is polished.
I love the way she says polished. So our new computer has been tested. It's found to be fabulous. Let's see if we can market it. Should we set a price? Oh, this isn't good, is it? Oh, okay. So in terms of that's performance, we're bottom of the pile. The highest value is 768. How does that compare to ours? 403. Yeah, however, capacity is really good, which is nice because Germany, can I get that out of the way? Yeah, like capacity. That's the purple one, wasn't it? Yes, so we should be okay there. Right, now yeah, let's think about pricing it. Now you have here, it hasn't given me an average cost. If I market that, I need to set the price. Yes, I know. I just want to know what the price of this machine should be. What the sort of cost of production would be for it. Is it going to tell me that? No. Okay, that's slightly annoying. Pricing. No. Okay. Just looking at this, see if I can. No. I can't see what my opposition is charging for theirs, but okay, right. Let's say 4,000. Market that. Oh, perhaps I actually need the game to be running for that to work. Okay, now. Oh, that's me pressing the spacebar. The spacebar is the pause key here, but it also has some other effects on some dialog boxes, which I'm going to ignore for the moment. Okay, so I've set the maximum price at 4,000, which is pretty much what the filthy rich would pay for a computer. But I'm selling into a very poor country. They can't afford as much, so if I discount that by 25%, it's not giving me... Oh, it doesn't give me what the profit is. Now, I'm slightly worried about this. It's not... I should be seeing an average price in there, and I'm not. Why not? Ah, do I need to get my factory running? Let's have a look at that. Let's do that, shall we? Let's get you running at full capacity. Okay, so one person wants to buy my computer. Let's check that out. Aha! Right, so we now have an average cost. Okay, so maybe I actually needed to build the thing to start with by having my factory actually running before it would tell me. Okay, so the average, that's a huge profit. Now, one thing that's been talked about by other players of this new version, and indeed the developer on this, is that your initial price should be really, well, really go big, go expensive. Put the main price at what you would want your filthiest, richest customers to pay, and then discount it so that your less wealthy customers can afford to buy it too. So if we go into pricing now, so I could discount that by say 30% there, 25% there, 10% there. Actually, no, let's make that 25. 20 there. 10 there, that's fine. Filthy rich, we can discount that by 5. Oh, actually, no, that's too expensive. Just look at this. Discounted price is $3,000. That's not going to get many people buying it, is it? Okay, let's make that say a 35% discount. That's still very expensive. Let's see how we do, though. Let's see how we do. This is a little frustration I have with the game, is I would normally expect a tab between these boxes here, but you can't. You click into each one separately. And there you go. I wonder how many people will buy this now. Interestingly, the numbers here have changed. I'm now 8th out of all these people. I thought I just had... How can I be 8th? Maybe one of my competitors has got 2 computers or more out on the market already. Okay. Oh, we are selling. Right, now the interesting thing here is these figures at the top here, which is what the hint was at the beginning of the game, is the demand, DPP, is well below, in fact briefly it was well above, it's well below the actual production. So if I take that down, okay, so you need these figures to be roughly similar. Otherwise you're just wasting money by spending too much on a factory which is producing more machines than people want. Okay, so my demand is still very low, so is this a matter of getting the prices right? I think it could be. Actually, if we go into customers, how many people buying? Yeah, because we've only got that one country we're in, which is poor. Let's see if we can get ourselves a rich country to sell into. See if that makes a difference. Okay, so wealth. Okay, where can we go? Can we stay in Europe? Austria, no. Slovakia, you're not really big enough. United Kingdom is too big, too expensive. So I do now only have just over 20 grand to spend. Senegal, yeah, you're not quite big, less than 1 million people. I'd like somewhere bigger than that. Ooh, Gabon. We could go there. What's the green? The green is ease of use. I'm not terribly good at that. Capacity. So this is something I'm really top of the leaderboard with at the moment. Now here you see in Hungary, although capacity is the biggest feature that people in Hungary want, there is some other company already there, the Brown Company, and they are, oh, little baguette, it's Big's Computers. Yeah. So I don't want to face off against somebody else at the moment, although it would be nice to compete and beat them into the ground right to start with. Aha! No, you're a poor country. What have we got here? Georgia. Iran. No, you're too big. Slovakia. You're just a little bit on the expensive side. Nepal. Oh, Nepal. And I think we're probably going to... No. What have we got down here? You're average. No, I do want a rich country. I think more than anything else. So let's go Gabon. Let's go Gabon. Nobody else is there. So that would work. Senegal, there's not enough people there. Okay, I've made that decision. Let's go Gabon. Okay, that's only 3 million, so that's not too bad.
You don't have enough logistic power.
Yes, I know. Right, now notice my demand has suddenly rocketed up, so I need to get back to my factory in Germany. And let's bring that back into production. Let's keep the game running. Ooh, look at that. My losses are now much less. I'm making money! Which is more or less the first time I've ever seen that in all the time I've been playing since I got this new version. Awesome. Right. Now the question is, do I want to, if I want to upgrade my factory, it costs me $500,000 and the daily cost will be 225,000. Cut that in half because I get the wealth discount. That's 100. That's still far too much. Even though it would give me a huge boost.
You don't have enough manufacturing capacity.
I know. Yeah, I can't afford a next level factory there. Okay. So what we could do though, if we go to Gabon. If I add a building site here, I will want to do this anyway, because as you see, the research here, you do get a wealth discount for research offices. The only trouble is that factories cost that much more, so it's going to cost half that again. Minus, it's not going to be that expensive compared. Okay, let's start research, shall we? How much would research cost today? 26 grand. No, I'm not prepared to do that. Not, but I need to research. Oh, this is the. Yeah, let's do it. Let's build research. Okay, now can I? Let's look at the success. Oh, that's interesting. My rank is going up. That's more like it, actually. That's 7th. It used to be 9th, but perhaps the game is just catching up with the fact that there are only 6 other companies in the world. Okay, so that's fine. What if we reduce the discount there to 5?
Your building upgrade has completed. Your research queue is empty.
Ooh, thank you. My research queue is empty and I'm now losing money. Right, research. Let's start research. This is a huge difference to what it used to be. We used to get this, which is simply a list of things you could research. It was a little bit different to this, but this is essentially what it looked like. And you could just pick and choose which technology you wanted to research. There was behind this a tree, so you couldn't research some things, like you couldn't research a 486 processor until you'd researched a 386, and before that the 286. So you couldn't sort of leap ahead, but there was no obvious sort of relationship between some of the technologies, which for someone like me who has little understanding of the actual hardware of a computer was kind of helpful to have. But this, you can actually see where everything lines up. Now unfortunately it is a very big research tree. It'd be nice to see if we can get this sort of zoomed, so we can get a sort of a smaller, more easily viewable in sort of 1 or 2 screens view of the whole tree. As you can see, it's enormous. But yeah, so what am I looking for? I'd like performance actually. Computing, which is this, actually capacitor chips. That gives you graphics. If I click on that, video chips, composite data. Yep. Now the interesting thing here, if this one has got an X on it, so can I add that to my queue? Oh, heck. Ah, cute. I hadn't noticed it did that before. It's actually put in there all the other bits of technology I need to achieve that. Oh, nice feature. Right, but we're not going to do that just yet. So if I take Sprite away from the queue, what's my queue look like now? Oh, it's still there. Oh, this okay. Is it going to do that? Yes, I think it is. That's better. Okay. Now the VLSI and 10 and 6 micron research technologies really affect how the cost of production, basically, in here, which is what this symbol here, the gear symbol, is referring to. But they don't actually give you any sort of value add to the customer as such. Now, one slight issue I've got with this screen is you can't remove technologies from here. It would be nice if you could do that, which you could do in the old version. You have to go here to do it. Yeah, so I don't want these in here just yet. Nor VLSI. VLSI remove from queue. Can I not? Why is it not doing that? Why can I not take VLSI out? If I take the compositor out, remove that. What does that look like? No, I'm stuck with it. Oh well, there you are. Perhaps that's a little bugette in the game. So we will do that. They only take 12 days each anyway. I've got 1 research point from my basic laboratory. So that will take just 12 days to do. Actually, let's look at our site, Gabon, which is our research facility here. Again, I can reduce the budget here to reduce the daily cost of this, but I still want to keep my 1 research point. So if I take that down to about there, so that's half. Okay, is that reducing my losses by anything? Not by much. I think my price increase for the rich people upset them. So let's take that down again. Let's see how that affects it. Can I actually make it even cheaper for the really poor people? Yeah, that's increased demand, I think, there. Okay. So while we're waiting on research, what can I learn about Germany? Oh, there's somebody else here. Someone's snuck in the market. I'm the green cup. Somebody else is in Germany. The yellow company. Are you cheap and great? You buggers. Well, you've stolen my market. Oh, I thought that might happen going into Europe. That's really annoying.
You have researched a new technology.
Okay, so I've got my new technology. We'll come to that in a moment. Let's I want to check out Germany. So our score here. So we're in 2nd place. Even though, yeah, but it's got. Right, okay, so that's telling me that the green company, which is me, that's our score and our position, but the best score is held by the yellow company, and that's amongst the cheapest. They're cheaper. Right, so where's the score there? I'm not quite sure what that refers to. let me... who... It tells you here, I think. It did tell me somewhere what the different... right. There's lots of help here, but it's not always easy to read. Okay, so as you can see here, cheapskates look for the cheapest. Workers tend to avoid stuff with high temperatures. Workers with a high noise level. And gamers are interested in CPUs, graphics and memory, especially performance and capacity. Okay, so that's it. So yeah, there's lots of things to play with here. There's so much more now to this version of the game. It's really impressive. And as you can see, quite challenging for people who don't have a full grasp of the technology like me. Okay, I need to reduce my prices, I think, on this to still make a profit. So if I make that 45, if I make that 30, let's try that. Now I do have new technology. I do now have that composite for graphics, and that I think is where we're going to start next time. As you can see, I am losing money hand over fist. 8 grand a day I am losing, even though the demand is outstripping my manufacturing capacity. So a couple of things we could do here: build better computers and sell them to people who want to buy them, or go into more countries, which means spending on a logistics office. And we're going to do one of those two things, or maybe both, in the next episode. So that's it. Thank you very much for joining me today on this rather bumpy exploration of the brand new version of Computer Tycoon. If you've enjoyed this, it'd be great to hear from you, either by way of a like, just click on the thumbs up button, or even better, if you've got anything to say in terms of suggestions. And as you can see, I need suggestions and help as to how to improve my performance in the game, or any other comments, recommendations, criticisms even, just drop that into the box below. It'd be very much appreciated. And of course, if you've not already done so, please do subscribe to the channel, and that way you'll know when I upload the next episode of Computer Tycoon or any of my other Let's Play series. But from me, Ajaxpost, and Computer Tycoon, thank you once again for joining me today, and I will see you again soon. But until then, bye bye for now.